what I mentioned earlier. But maybe you could talk to him when he gets on today, Rufus.
No, the last time Roy Jones was on, I could have took my shot, but Frank told me not to, so I'm not going to this time either. So we'll keep doing the Roy Jones kiss-ass parade, you know.
That's just some cold words.
For real? So you're just going to hold your tongue when he's on?
So angry.
I say you go hard in the paint.
So angry for the day after Christmas.
He's drinking the haterade, baby.
Boxing Day.
What do they call haterade down where you're from, Rufus? Indiana.
I come from Ohio, Doss, and they still call it haterade.
Oh.
For Roy Jones, I got a six-pack, though.
Hey guys, look, I got a first guest popping on with us for the evening. We're excited. Look, to talk about, please, whoever's shuffling in the background, please stand still. Please, for the love of God, stand still. But no, we got former cruiserweight champ of the world, undisputed cruiserweight champ of the world. He was involved in a sensational fight this past Saturday night that took place on the National Broadcast Channel. I believe that's what NBC stands for. And there was an atrocity that happened, and let's not face it, there was a year of atrocities, and I got to be honest with a lot of people, I wasn't completely shocked. I know this man was shocked because the blood, sweat, and tears that he put into this battle. This is his livelihood, but we always love having him on the show, and we welcome back on the line Mr. Steve, USS Cunningham. How you doing tonight, Steve?
I'm good. What's going on, bro?
Well, good, man. You know, first and foremost, man, yesterday was Christmas. I don't know if it was bittersweet. I know you're a family man. How was your Christmas yesterday, man?
Christmas was good. We don't really do Christmas big anyway. We keep it simple and small, but we went to some friend's house and enjoyed ourselves, and the fight came up, and it's just like, we talk about the good part of it, and the bad part, which is the decision. It's like a lingering, cloud of rain and hurricane and snow and hail. We just try to avoid it.
Now, going back, I know it's like this, man. I mean, obviously we got to talk about this. Yeah, your voice has to be heard on the subject and on the topic. It's the topic of, the atrocity, man. I mean, look at it like this. You put a lot into it. But I got to ask you like this, man. Look, it's a few days past. The fight's over. The judges rendered their decision. I mean, I was shocked. When I heard a draw, I was like, you know what? I'm not surprised it's a draw. I figured that's what it would be. But when they went back and they said, hey, it's a decision, I got to ask you, how did you feel? I mean, like, obviously you felt like complete crap. But, I mean, like, were you at any point beating yourself up, saying to yourself, you know what, I should have knocked him out. I knew I had to do what I had to do to knock him out. I mean, what were your initial thoughts? Did you want to go out there and punch the judges?
Yeah, of course. Well, the judges, that wasn't even on my mind. It was utter and total shock. Like, after the fight, after that 12th round bell rung, my hands went in the air, and I ran to my corner. I ran to my trainer. I ran to my team, who helped me be the fighter that you guys saw Saturday evening. And I thanked them. I thanked them with all my heart. I told them I loved them, and I thanked them for a great camp because I felt we had a unanimous decision on our hands, and there was nothing you could tell me, nothing you could tell me outside of the judges saying split decision Adamek wins, that I didn't just perform a great unanimous decision. Now, when the draw came, when they said draw, I'm looking like, what? I wasn't even happy with draw. I mean, I was pissed off with the draw. That was disgusting to me. And then I look at Adamek. He was coming over to our corner, I think, or he was walking, and I looked at his facial expression. He was relieved. But before that, his whole team, his wife, his trainers, all those guys, they just had that somber look. They had the look of being beat on their faces. They knew it. And when I looked at him, he looked comfortable. He looked cool with the draw. And I'm like, this is bull. Then they're like, well, let's go and, Nazim was about to snap. Actually, he started saying some stuff. Nazim, he let it go. And he was about to go in, and my assistant trainer, Buddy Osborne, was like, hold up. They're recounting the score. Something was wrong. Because 115, that's impossible anyway. So that's fishy. Then they recalculated the scores, and they come back with the Adamek split decision. That was just like, it was just like crumbling. That was like crumbling my world right there, man. Judges weren't on my mind. Nothing was on my mind, but this is wrong. This is bull crap. Like, this is impossible. I beat this man. How is this? And then with the judges with the scores having to be retallied, all this stuff was fishy to me.
Hey, Steve, this is Michael Dawson. How you doing?
All right, I'm good.
Yeah. One question about it. Bad decisions are a part of boxing, definitely. I mean, but the thing about it, a lot of bad decisions, especially on the higher level. You got to remember, probably the worst decision, the most publicized decision of the whole year, besides yours, probably. I imagine it's probably Pacquiao.
Hey guys, let me cut you off real quick. I want to bring into the conversation right now. One of the biggest fans of boxing today. I mean, this guy's out here in Vegas watching boxing. I mean, he's been in his share of fights, but on a different platform, not inside a ring. He's been in his share of fights on the court, where he became an NBA world champion, a 9-time NBA All-Star, the only point guard to ever win Defensive Player of the Year, 2 Olympic gold medals. That's right, American athletes, 2 Olympic gold medals, if you're listening. And he's joining in. We were actually just talking about the fight not too long ago, Steve. It's without further ado, the glove, Mr. GP, Gary Payton is joining us tonight right now, ATG Radio. GP, what's up, man?
How y'all doing, man? Everybody all right?
Yeah.
Everything's
good.
Yes, sir.
Everything's good. Steve Cunningham, former undisputed cruiserweight champ of the world, made a move up to heavyweight, goes in there, gets the rematch he's been asking for the longest time against Tomasz Adamek. Finally gets it, heavyweight division. Went in there, smooth, slick boxing.
Let me cut you off right now. He got robbed, man. That's all that is to it, man. You shouldn't even feel bad. Tell the man to refight you again, and then you beat him down this time. So you know what I'm saying? Don't let him even have opportunity to do like that. Knock him out next time. But you won the fight, man. So don't even have your head down low. Know you won the fight.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that, no doubt.
No problem.
Steve, I gotta ask you this: Gary Payton, one of the toughest guys on the court in the NBA, and I'm gonna tell you like this: as I said, out here on any of these big fights, out in Vegas, you're gonna catch GP in the house. He's watching them. You hear it from him. I mean, tell me, what's that like hearing it from an NBA legend, from a basketball legend?
Well, I mean, listen. I watched Gary Payton for years, coming up as a teenager, and that's just, man, that's mad love right there, man. It shows respect, and I totally have respect for him as an athlete, and he has for me as an athlete, and that just goes to show you, man. He's not a guy like that. Not going to bull crap you. He's not going to shoot the crap with you. So he's going to tell the truth, and that, like you said, that makes me feel good. I mean, my head's not held down, but I thank everybody for the encouragement, man. I did my all. I did what we planned to do. I went out there and I made this guy look like an amateur, and I should have been awarded the victory. But thanks, Gary, man. I'm glad people like you got to see this. I mean, that's the only good thing that come out of this.
Well, yeah, you know what? I hear you, man. You ain't got to think. Maybe you did what you're supposed to do, man. You good at what you do, man, and I like it. I'm a big avid boxing fan, man, and you went out there, you did what you had to do, man. He had all the fans on his side, and that's why I say boxing is a little bit on the bad side right now, because the judges and all that sway to the way of all them fans and his crowd and stuff. And it's just really crazy to me as I be going to a lot of fights, and I see that, especially seeing your fight and seeing that, man. It just makes it even worse when you see a lot of more fights and a lot of you guys get robbed, as what y'all been doing, and it's been hard. Y'all work hard to what y'all do, and then all of a sudden you get it taken away from you. I can understand where you're coming from, and shoot, like I said, you ain't got your head down. I know you a type of guy, man, and type of kid, man. Y'all know that you gonna come back and get out on them again, so don't worry about it. Just make sure next time you let them know that, hey, I'm gonna knock this cat out, so you won't have to take nothing from me, and that's all you got to worry about.
Yeah, I hear you.
Steve, any talk of a trilogy, man? Any talk? Anybody say anything about, them giving you a rematch? I think it's just due. I think you deserve it. And honestly, is this something that you would be interested in?
I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'm gonna tell you like this. After the first fight was the first fight. I felt that fight should have been at least a draw. I felt it could have went my way. I felt it could have went his way. After that 12th round bell rung, I was like, either way this fight goes, I'm content because I did my best off of the 3 knockdowns. Now, after they awarded him the fight, then I was like, listen, for 4 years, that was on the back of my mind. You guys know I pressed for the immediate rematch, and when we didn't get it, I beat Wayne Braithwaite to be his number 1 contender, and he vacated and went to heavyweight. So after that time, I got my belt back, and the Tomasz Adamek fight was in the back of my mind. We finally got the fight. I get in here, my whole goal was to show the world I can beat this man. I can beat him, and I did it. I totally did it. I did better than what I expected, actually. And they robbed me. They took the fight from me. So now, from what I'm hearing, is really the only thing we kind of can do is petition to see if we can get a rematch. But now with all of this eliminator crap going on, that may be hold. It might not even be an immediate rematch. Who knows? But it's like with me, I'm like, I did what I set out to do. I beat the crap out of him. I beat him. It's like a rematch, a third fight isn't even in my thought pattern right now at this moment. I'm like, I beat the guy. I beat him. He can't beat me. And I mean, but if the third fight did come up, no doubt I'd take it. And yeah, it'd be an even better foot forward.
Hey guys, Frank, can I make a statement real quick? I just want to further Steve's point. I was standing in the corner with Steve when the thing was announced, and when I saw Adamek, I saw a man bleeding from his mouth, who Steve made, at the start of the fight, a 37-year-old man looked 50 by the end of the fight. And there's no question in my mind, and obviously there's no question in his own promoter's mind. Ziggy Rizalski, who's Adamek's own promoter, admitted his man lost the fight. I mean, I don't know what more proof that you can get than, taking that, for a rematch or whatever. So I know Adamek, obviously there was a reason why he skipped away for 4 years. I don't know if he's going to try to skip away for another 4 years.
I don't know. I mean, we'll see. I see it like this. I don't know what was, you guys had on the table. I know they were mentioning Tyson Fury was coming from the UK. Gary, let me ask you this, Gary. As far as Steve's, campaigning at the heavyweight division, I don't think he's lost any fans or any, luster in this situation. But what is your thoughts on the heavyweight division right now? I know you're aware of the Klitschko's and stuff like that. Steve Cunningham looks like a ray of light, a ray of hope for the heavyweight division. But what are your initial thoughts on the heavyweight division?
Well, as I look at the heavyweight, like you said, Cunningham is the only one that's really coming up to me and really is like really a boxer to me. The heavyweight has been really gone and really down for many a year. So I think he can bring it up. But as they say, he made a 37-year-old look like he's 50, which was really true. So what I'm saying is, like, the heavyweight division, I think he's got to be the guy who comes up and makes it happen, because there's really no one out there to be fighting. You're always looking at the Pacquiaos, the Marquezes, the Floyds in their division, in their weight class, but the heavyweight hasn't been talked about in a long time. And I think this guy is one who could get the heavyweight to start getting talked about if he gets a fair shake. And right now, I think he got a fair shake on his last fight.
Yeah, no doubt.
Sound like this, I mean, Steve, look, man, that's why it's here, man. We wanted to get you an opportunity to, vent that frustration and get it out there. Wait, actually, I got somebody calling in real quick. I know there's a lot of people who wanted to hop on here as well, but I got someone from the Massachusetts area, host of On the Ropes Boxing Radio, Ms. Jenna J. She's on the line. She had a question for you, Steve Cunningham. I know she's also a big Boston Celtics fan as well, and a big basketball fan, so I know she wants to put up to Gary Payton as well. Jenna J.
Hey, Steve. How you doing?
Hey, I'm good. How you been?
I've been very good. Happy to be talking to you. Steve, I have to ask you, I mean, you weighed in very light for the fight with Adamek, 203 pounds. I mean, how far are you really looking to go at heavyweight? I mean, you obviously can't get in there with the big guys, the Klitschko's, you sparred with them. I mean, is this more of a move financially for you, being that there's better money at heavyweight, or, I mean, do you think you can really compete for a title at this weight?
Listen, I'm a former champion in the cruiserweight division 2 times, and all I know to be is a champion, you know. So I come to the heavyweight division to be world champion. My weight, I weighed in at 203 on Friday, and a lot of people don't know, and I don't make any excuses, but I had a cold, you know, that week coming up to the fight, and during the fight, and I had a cold. All my kids were sick. That's why my daughter wasn't in the audience. She was really sick. She gave everybody the cold, but I had a cold, and I wasn't able to eat properly from Tuesday, you know, up into the fight, you know. So my weight dropped. You know, I weighed in about 207 for the Gavin fight. I wanted to come in around 207, 208, but I just didn't have that appetite. But I didn't want to call the fight off or postpone it or anything because I didn't want Adamek to slip through my fingers. Basically, that's how I felt, and we didn't say anything about it to the media or even our promoter. I told my promoter afterwards, but you know, it's one of them things, man. When you're determined and you want something, you're gonna get it. You know, you're gonna get it. I worked hard in camp, and I wasn't gonna let a little bug stop me from getting my victory.
All right, now Steve, you know, being that you are a smaller heavyweight in terms of weight, you know, do you think it's that going to be your slickness and that your elusiveness and your boxing ability that's going to lead you to obviously good things at heavyweight?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be that and some other things. You know, a lot of people, you know, they get this heavyweight thing all messed up. You know, they figure, you know, because Adamek or anybody can be 225 or 230. Oh, that means he's good, he's stronger, he's a better heavyweight. No, it doesn't. You know, especially a guy like Adamek. Adamek was a better 205, 210. At 225, he's sluggish, he's slow, he's way slower than he was as a cruiserweight, and he doesn't even have that power that he did as a cruiserweight. You know, that extra fat just doesn't mean anything. You know, he doesn't look in shape. You know, for our fight, he looked flabby around the waist. So, either he took me lightly or you know, whatever. But then you got other guys who are out here 240, 250. I mean, that's ridiculous. That's disgusting. What fighter is going to have flab on him if he's in training camp doing what he's supposed to do? You know, I don't care what weight you are. You know, that weight's going to trim down. So, me, I'm not concerned about weight. I mean, of course, I do want to get, ideally, I want to get to 210, and I believe I can keep my athleticism and ability there. But really, no matter which weight I come in, as long as I'm over the 200-pound limit, and a guy like Chris Bird and Eddie Chambers shows you guys that, you know, it's not about weight. It's about ring intelligence.
All right, last question for you, Steve, and this is one I've been wanting to ask you. You obviously have a bit of a following in Germany, seeing as you fought there a bunch of times. You fought Juan Pablo Hernandez. You fought Marco Huck. Do you look at a fight with Alexander Povetkin as your key fight at heavyweight to get a title?
That's interesting. That would be an interesting fight. I'd jump all over that fight. I'd jump over the fight with any, you know, Vladimir as a belt. I have, like, don't get me wrong, I have much respect for Vladimir. Me and him became pretty cool, pretty close in the David Haye fight, training camp. But, you know, like I said, I want to be world champion. And if I have to fight him, I'd do it. You know, if I had to fight his brother, I'd do it. But, I mean, yeah, with those guys being monsters, actually that makes the challenge a little more, you know, mouth-watering for me, you know, because, you know, you beat a Povetkin, yeah, it's great, it's big, but you beat a Klitschko, that's instantaneous Hall of Famer right there.
All right, well, thank you, Steve, for answering my questions. You got my urge out to talk to an athlete because I'm done for the rest of the year, not starting OTR till next year. So thank you guys, and thank all you ATG guys for getting me on.
Jenna, you're a Boston fan. We got Gary Payton on the line. Tell us your thoughts. Now, be real. Gary Payton with his tenure at the Boston Celtics. One of the greatest ever.
We got the glove on the line. How you doing today, Gary?
I'm good, and how are you?
I'm doing very good. So I have to ask you, what were your thoughts on the Celtics getting the big three after you left?
Well, you know, that was where basketball was coming towards. You know, everybody was trying to rear up to get more athletes on their team and do what they had to do. After I left, they did that and then won a championship in 2008. So, you know, and then you Miami came and started doing it, and everybody's starting to do it now. So, you know, I think Boston was the one that really got to the big three and the really big three, and then you know, they did a good job. You know, now they're getting a little older. But I still think, you know, they're a good basketball team, and you know, they got a great coach in Doc Rivers.
All right. And Gary, do you have any regrets at all that you weren't able to get the Celtics over that hump, that drought, not having a championship when you were with them?
No, not really, you know, because when we were coming in there, we weren't trying to get a lot of basketball players, and that was it. You know, we just had to add Paul Pierce. We didn't go and get Kevin Garnett. We didn't go and trade for Ray Allen. You know, they went and got more players, and then, you know, Rondo came after that. You know, we had a lot of young kids. You know, we drafted Al Jefferson, and then, you know, a lot of the other little guys started to come. Perkins came to us. You know, we had Davis. So we had a team that was building. So we wasn't really trying to make a statement of winning a championship right away when they did it. They went and said, we're going to go get Kevin Garnett, and then all of a sudden came back and got Ray Allen. They wanted to go right in and then drafted Rondo, which they didn't know Rondo was going to be like that. So I don't regret that. I mean, we were trying to build at that time.
All right, last question for you, Gary. When you went to the Lakers in 2003, it was thought of that was the super team. That was the big guys because you had Karl Malone, you had Kobe Bryant, you had yourself on there. Are you at all surprised that you guys weren't able to get it done, being that you built such a powerful team?
No. What people don't understand is, and they just, you know, the questions come like this, is you got to understand, Kobe Bryant was going through a situation where he thought he was going to go to jail for the rest of his life at a young age. A 23-year-old kid going into that type of situation is very traumatic. You know, you can't do that. The people didn't know that Shaq was fighting against Jerry Buss to get a contract, and he was feuding and didn't want to play there. You know, and then we got Karl Malone, who got hurt after the 22nd game. When Karl Malone got hurt, we were 19-3. So people didn't understand that, and then all of a sudden, them three guys after that played a combined 12 games together. And with me, I played all the games. With them three, they only played a combined 12 games together after that. And which people don't understand is we still made it to the NBA championship and had a chance to beat the Detroit Pistons. But they were a team that was gelling at the time, doing what they wanted to do, on a championship.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you guys again for letting me talk to Gary. Gary, thank you, and wish you guys all the best of luck for the rest of this show.
Thank you very much.
All right. Take care, guys.
Hey, Gary, how you doing? This is Eliud.
How you doing, Eliud?
Good. I actually had the pleasure that one year you was in Boston. I just want to say that I actually got to see you play, and it was a pleasure to see you on the court. And my question to you is, you've had basketball players that actually made a transition from basketball to boxing. For example, what's his name from the Charlotte Hornets, Kendall Gill.
Yeah.
He fought a couple fights at the cruiserweight limit. I think he had 4 or 5 fights. Did you ever consider being the big boxing fan that you are to maybe take a shot at boxing?
No. I didn't want to get my head all beat up. No, I'm good. I would let that sport stay to their sport, and I'm gonna stick to my sport. I don't know what Kendall was thinking, but a lot of athletes think that they can do a lot of other people's sports, and I really don't think that. You know, I think when, you know, it's only 2 athletes that ever went to combo sports. You know, you had Bo Jackson and Deion Sanders, really, who were really good at it. So, you know, some of us can't do that and switch and do that. And I really never thought of that. You know, I was just a big fan of boxing when you had all the Hector Camachos and all them type of go to the Prince Aline coming out and they was doing all their shows, and you know Mayweather and them, they getting with their shows. I was a big fan of that, and then especially when Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier and Ken Norton and you know George Foreman was all in that type of stuff, and I really liked that when I was coming up, growing up doing that. So no, I never thought about ever boxing.
Okay. And just for the record, Gary, after he left Boston, he did win his championship with the Miami Heat. Steve, I got a question for you before I let somebody else go on. You already fought Tomasz Adamek twice. Both fights were split decision losses. Do you think because the fights were so close and that he has 2 wins over you officially, that it will be hard to make a third fight?
No, and for the record, I don't consider this second fight a split decision loss anyway. That's just what's on paper. But I don't think a third fight would be hard to make. I mean, you know, Tomasz is all only thing Tomasz can do is punch for a knockout. And you see he tried to go for it in the 11th and 12th round. So maybe he'll try to go for it more in the third fight early. Maybe, who knows? But I mean, he can't with a jab in his face all night. So, you know, we'll see if anybody's interested in seeing the third fight. If the interest is there, then yeah, I'd fight him again, of course. But I mean, if that's the only indication I can get, I mean, that's all I'm hearing right now. That may be the only thing we can get is a rematch. So we'll see.
Yeah. No, I just said for the record, Steve, don't get me wrong. I thought you actually won that fight easily. I just said officially they give it to him, but obviously we all know who won that fight. And Steve, thanks for your time. And Gary, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, one thing to Steve and one thing to Gary. About the third fight, didn't we just go through a situation with Manny Pacquiao and Juan Manuel Marquez where a lot of people thought one guy should have won both fights and didn't get the decision either of them? So there actually is a recent precedent set where, you know, if a guy is still up 2-0, that there should be a third fight. And, you know, I mean, with Pacquiao Marquez, it's already been, that precedent's already been set. Just a quick question to Gary. You just mentioned Eliud just asked you about you were wanting to box. You've been around the greatest athletes of all time. You played with them, played against them. There may be 1 or 2 guys that you think that you played with or played against that couldn't make a transition to the ring at some point in their careers?
Well, you know what? You got to have a mentality for that, and you got to have athletic ability and all that stuff. It's very hard for us to come and say that we can come and box. They do a lot of more stuff than us. They got to move. They got to hit a bag. They got to do a lot of stuff. I didn't went to go see Mayweather train a lot. And I just look at him and be in awe and amazed, you know, to see what he goes through and how he works so hard. But with the mentality, if you got a good mentality, I think Charles Oakley could have been a good boxer. You know, I think Derek Coleman could have been a good boxer. Even if they're big, they were tall and big, but they could have been a heavyweight boxer. I think they had the right mentality to box anybody. And you know, and I done seen them a lot, and I done seen them fight a lot. So I think them two had the most ability and most attitude to go at a boxer.
Great. How about Larry Johnson? Didn't he fight amateur before?
Well, I have never really seen Larry fight, but you know, I think he had a lot of dog in him too. But you know, I really couldn't see if he would have been a boxer. I don't know if he could have been a boxer like a heavyweight or something like that. I don't know about that.
Didn't Kendall Gill transfer from basketball to becoming a pro boxer? He put together some sort of record in boxing. Yeah,
you see, he ain't boxing no more neither. Huh?
Hey guys, let me jump in here real quick. Can I bring on another person into the party real fast? You know, we got a future legend, Steve Cunningham, and from one legend to the next, the day after Christmas, you know, NBA legend Gary Payton to a boxing legend, actually still a current legend inside the ring. Get ready to return to the ring. We got Roy Jones Jr. back on ATG Radio. Roy Jones Jr., you're on the line with, you know, the entire ATG Radio crew, Gary Payton and Steve Cunningham. How you doing tonight, champ?
Yeah, I'm good. First, I want to say what's up, GP, the glove in the house. How you doing, man?
What's up, Roy? How you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Nothing but much love and respect for you and your career, brother.
Same to you, brother.
Thank you. Second, I want to say, Steve Cunningham, I am so sorry and so disappointed about what just happened to you the other day. It's another one of those situations where we always get the short end of the stick. I feel so bad for you, man, but you just keep your head up and keep doing what you're doing.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that, man. Thank you.
Roy, real quick, let's get into it real quick, man. We heard you returning to the ring in Memphis. We had Steve Collins on the show about a month ago, which set off, we heard you respond to him with a couple other outlets out there, with Silvana and stuff like that. I got to ask you like this, man. You returning in Memphis, does that have anything to do with a possible you and Steve Collins clash?
Yes, it does. He said he want me. I don't know what the hell he think he want me for, but it's like, first thing is, you have to be careful what you ask for. Second thing is, I ain't never ducked nobody in my prime, so why would I duck him now? You feel me? So my thing is, it's kind of simple. I take a tune-up fight probably in Memphis, maybe. If it works out well, I take that tune-up, then I'll go ahead on and do what I got to do with Steve Collins.
I would like to see that fight, man. I think, in the UK, and we talked about this, you were on the line when we did the Stata 4 press conference, and we talked about you and your appreciation for the fans over in the UK. Is that somewhere you would think you would see that fight happening, you going over to the UK, fighting in Ireland?
That's all I'm saying. So the UK or somewhere like that, and I mean, they mentioned Dubai and China, but the UK, Dubai, or China would be the only three places that I would even consider doing that, because there's no sense doing it here. Nobody even cares about Steve Collins here, so it doesn't make no sense. But over there, or like you said, if he has people in Dubai that want to see him fight, or if he has connections in China that want to see him get a whipping, I don't mind. I do whatever, but I definitely love to come to the UK because I haven't came there yet.
I got to ask us, Roy, while you're still on the line with Gary Payton and Steve Cunningham on the line, man, give us some words on the great Roy Jones Jr., if you don't mind.
Steve, some words?
No, I'm asking Cunningham and Gary Payton, man. Give some memories, some great words you could give to the future Hall of Famer Roy Jones Jr.
Oh, well, I go first, shoot. I watch Roy all the time, and I told you that's why I got into boxing. I ain't forgot to mention his name, but Roy was the coldest. You know what I'm saying? He come out with all the antics, and then he get out there and beat you and do it all in the ring. So I used to love that. So I loved him from day one because I know he a clown and he talk crazy just like he do because he just like me. I did the same thing on the court, and I respect him to the utmost because he did it in the ring and backed it up.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that, Gary.
No problem, dog.
And Steve, USS Cunningham, man. Roy Jones Jr. I think always is everybody's favorite fighter growing up. I mean, he's always had the skills to pay the bills, man. What were your thoughts on Roy Jones altogether, bro?
Oh man, Roy is one of the greatest, man. I remember when Roy was really starting to heat up, to everybody before he became really mega. I was an amateur, and we would try to imitate him in sparring all the time, man. And he helped shape some of my boxing career, and some of my boxing style, man, with just some of the stuff he did. Just trying to copy him. Of course, it was just a copy, but. Then being able to get to meet him, when he came to Philly, him and Nate, I already knew Nate Campbell through the amateurs, but finally meeting Roy and talking with you, man, and knowing that we share the same faith and some of the same ideas, man, it was just an honor, man. That dude, he's special, man. He's a special man.
Hey, thank you, Steve. I appreciate that, man. Same thing here, man. I know you're definitely glad that we did get a chance to cross paths, and I just wish you the most luck and success in the rest of your career.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate it.
Hey, Roy, I know we only had a chance with you for a few minutes, man. We always love having you on the show. I know we'll get you back on here when it gets close to fight night. Maybe we'll try to get some more things popping with Steve Collins on here, man. Be sure to let you know. Say again, Merry belated Christmas. Happy New Year to you, champ. God bless.
Hey, thank you to all y'all. Same to you, Steve and Gary. Thank y'all guys for being on. God bless you all.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right, thanks. Roy Jones Jr., one of the greatest of all time. Gary, that was one thing, Carla J and I, we were talking, with Steve Cunningham and Roy Jones on the line, you being a big boxing fan, man, we figured get you on there, get an opportunity to say what's up to them. I mean, we're trying to entertain you, man. We have Roy and Steve on the show. Actually, we got to get Steve back on the show for a trivia challenge against Eddie Chambers. I think that's a good one. And Steve Cunningham against Eddie Chambers. We'll never see them in the ring unless it's for $1 billion, but I think we get some boxing trivia, give them some bragging rights there. And Gary, wait, GP, I got to ask you this too. We do boxing trivia challenges here on the show live for all our listeners worldwide. We got to get you on there. I mean, I'm not asking. I just got to tell you, we got to get you on there, GP.
All right, anytime, man. Y'all let me know, man. It's all good.
GP, again, man, we don't want to keep you all night, man. We want to save some more to bring you back on the show. But I know Carla J wanted to say what's up to you. I don't know if she got a chance to. I know I was in and out.
I didn't get a chance to. I just have one question before we go. In closing, GP, Defensive Player of the Year, who would you say is comparable to a GP in the boxing game?
For real, you know what? I've seen a lot of boxers and all that. Roy Jones Jr. and Mayweather is probably the closest to me in that area. When Roy was when Roy was younger, he was on that, and then I think Mayweather, he does it so good because he get his elbows up and he do the same thing, and he know how to hold. He's a great defensive boxer, so I think them two will be probably equal to me in their world, in their sport to my sport.
Greatest of all time. That's right. Tell all your fans how they can possibly stay in contact and follow GP and everything else that you have going on.
Well, you guys, I got a lot going on, man. You know, I'm the ambassador of the NBA. I go overseas to do a lot of stuff. You guys can catch me on Facebook. Y'all can catch me on my Twitter, Gary Payton _20. Stay with me. I got a lot of stuff going on. I got a lot of stuff coming up, and I got in February. I hope that I get inducted to the Hall of Fame. I'm up for that. So we're doing a lot of stuff for that, and it's gonna be a good year for me. 2013. I hope it's gonna be a great year. Everybody follow me because I'm gonna be out there.
All right. Thank you so much, Gary, for taking the time out to speak with us today.
Hey, GP. Sorry. GP, thanks so much. Shout out definitely to you for joining us, and we'd love to have you back on the show, man, again, to talk some more boxing, man.
Man, thanks, man. Y'all, thanks for having me, man. It's been great. It's just fun. Anytime y'all need me, just let me know.
All right, there you go. The glove. So many accolades, too many to mention. Gary Payton. God bless, man. Happy New Year. Hope to talk to you again soon, man. Have a great night.
Okay, Happy New Year to everybody, and everybody have a good one, all right, and have a safe one.
Peace.
All right.
All right, take care.
All right.
Hey, real quick, Steve, before we let you go, man, we had GP on the line. We have Roy Jones on the line. Want to kind of get your mind off things, man. Like they said, both of them said, man, there ain't nothing to it, man. This stuff happens in the sport. You're in a dirty sport. But for Team Abrams' sake, hashtag Team Abrams' sake, I didn't know he was on the line, but a fellow member of the illustrious group Team Abrams, Thomas Cornflake LaManna, also Team USS Cunningham as well, undefeated junior middleweight prospect Thomas Cornflake LaManna. He's screaming at me to get on. Cornflake.
What's going on, Frank? What's going on, Steve?
What's up, man?
Everything good. Everything good.
Okay, you're on, man.
Well, what the fuck you want me to say, Frank?
You were screaming at me. Let's talk about it like this, man. Let's talk about it like this. In a good light right now, in a good light, Steve Cunningham got fucking robbed last Saturday. How about that? I didn't know what the cursing. The first potty mouth of the night. We had Gary Payton on the line. We had an angry Steve Cunningham on the line. We had Roy Jones Jr., who isn't afraid to say anything, and then you come in here, first 5 words, you drop the F-bomb.
Well, I'm sorry. It is what it is, First, I do want to thank, I didn't get a chance to talk to Steve after the fight. I didn't want to bother him. I want to thank him for allowing me to, being back in the locker room with him, for me to witness, what it is to, be around like a huge, mega fight, and the back scenes and everything, and like Marc said, on his Facebook and on the radio, and even to me after the fight, he witnessed highway robbery again. So, but it's boxing, so if a third fight happens, this next time you just gotta knock him the fuck out.
Yeah. Hey, Cornflake, what does that do for you? For you to be, kind of sitting and watching things along the sidelines and just seeing things firsthand, what does that do to you and your mindset going into, your next fight?
Don't leave it up to the judges.
Mm-hmm.
No, it was just, a great experience. Like a lot of people know, I was basically born into boxing, been around numerous world champions. But that was when I was younger. With me being a pro fighter, me being around the atmosphere of, Brother Nazim Richardson, Steve, a full camp, just seeing how, like, a fighter that's about to fight on national TV, how he would act before a mega fight, So, it was just all, words just really can't describe. It's just a feeling that I just feel inside, like, where next time when I'm getting ready for my fight, I just think, oh, well, maybe it's not that bad, for me to laugh around and joke around, because at the end of the day, the fight's going to happen regardless. Why be mad and serious and have a puss face on, like you're about to kill somebody when, it's probably only going to eat you up inside, so.
Mhm.
So.
That's true. Is Steve still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, Steve, I have a quick question for you, and it's along the same lines. Because I've spoken to, a couple of different fighters who've pretty much had a loss like this, where it's just highway robbery. And it can sort of mess with your mental, obviously, going into your next fights and things like that. I know you have a huge support system in the Abrams camp, the Abrams, Team Abrams, hashtag. It can either make or break you, hands down. So where are you right now at this moment as far as your mental is concerned? Do you just look at it like, I won that shit and let me just keep it moving? Or are you just like, I don't know what to expect, and, your mindset is kind of shaky right now? Where are you right now?
Look, you see my record. I've got 5 losses on my record, and 4 of those losses shouldn't even be there. The only loss I should have on my record is the first Tomasz Adamek fight, and that was close. The first Hernandez fight got stopped prematurely and wrongly, and that was totally wrong, and that's why they gave us the rematch, and the rematch wouldn't have happened if the first fight went the way it was supposed to go. I lost to Krzysztof Lidarczyk. I was robbed in Poland my first fight for my first loss, so that shouldn't even be there. But I've been there before. You know what I'm saying? I've been there before, and I've come back to perform even better. All of this just does, of course, I'm angry. I'm fired up. I'm still mad. I'm still trying to figure out what can we do about this. But at the end of the day, I still got to press on. So this is going to make it worse for whoever I fight in the future. Because it's going to make me want to go back to the drawing board to an extent and fix some things and work on and work on stuff and use this extra anger that I have now as fuel. So listen, it's going to be better, Steve Cunningham, next time y'all see me fight.
Right on. Hey. Thanks, Steve.
Hey, Steve, this is Michael Dawes again. Hopefully I don't get interrupted this time, Frank.
Well, Dawes, it's easy for everybody just sitting there.
We got Michael Jordan coming on the line.
Yeah, if I'm going to get interrupted, though, I want to do it, like Gary Payton. I had an all-star, 9-time all-star NBA legend. That's fine. That's fine. Don't interrupt me for Thomas Lamont or anything. I got to mix with my boy Lamont. How you doing?
Everything good. What's going on, man?
Just chilling, man. I want to ask Steve this. I want to ask you, man. You're a religious guy. You're a very spiritual guy. I definitely respect that. You got a lot of people supporting you. But this is the thing. You kind of feel like this is a blessing in disguise, also. I mean, look, like I was talking about before. This is probably the most publicized, decision of the year, besides Pacquiao-Bradley. You see what happened with Pacquiao-Bradley. Pacquiao got a bigger fight. He did get knocked out in one round, but he got a better opportunity. And Bradley, he's still sitting there just playing with himself. He don't have nothing. He don't even have a fight, really on the horizon. But he got the win, but Pacquiao got the reward. Do you kind of think that that's the possibility? It being on the bigger stage, being on NBC, getting that much publicity, even though it was a loss and it was a bad decision. Do you think that it might help you more than hurt you?
Well, yeah. I mean, like you said, I'm a follower of God, of Christ. I read the Bible, and I know the Bible says what man has made for evil, for your evil, for your bad, you know, God has for your good. So whoever is behind this, you know, maybe it's the Polish mafia or whoever, you know, whatever man has set for my evil, God has for my good. So, of course, that's what's keeping me in this calm state of mind. Of course, I'm angry and I got this burning fire in me about what happened, but that word settles me. It keeps me from erupting. You know what I'm saying? That's why I didn't blow up in the ring. It's like, and I've been there, but yeah, I believe other things can come out of this. You know, I can't speak of some of the things we've already heard, but we've already talked with our promoter, Kathy Duva, and some things are in the works now. So, and like you said, the world saw this one. I've got robbed 3 other times before, and the world didn't see that, so it wasn't such a big deal. It's, oh, okay, there it is, another fighter gets robbed. This still is, oh, another fighter gets robbed, but the world saw a great performance that should have been duly awarded to me. And, I mean, I'm getting messages from Poland. I'm getting so many messages from Poland. It's unbelievable. Argentina, Australia, it's unbelievable. People saw this. America, everybody saw it, and they saw a great performance, and they want to see it again. So, yeah, that has helped me in a bit. That has helped my fan base grow even bigger, and we'll see what the future holds.
I'm gonna be 100% honest with you, Steve. You know, I think I've seen a worse decision in Pennsylvania since Tyrone Everett fought Alfredo Escalera back in the 70s.
Oh man.
I mean, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. You know, to have these guys have to retally the scores. I mean, it's ridiculous. I think our main thing right now is holding these judges accountable. I know for the 10th round, they scored it. From what I hear, they scored it for Tomasz Adamek. And that 10th round, that's the round that my corner was like, that was the most perfect round of the fight. And it's like, how can these guys score that for Adamek? So either they're just blind and incompetent, or there was an early agenda, Cunningham's not winning this fight. So we're just going to score rounds for Adamek anyway. You know, so, I mean, if I could get an investigator to investigate, I would. But, I mean, gee whiz, man, it's just ridiculous, you know.
Well, I just got a couple more quick questions for you. What about, Pulev? You know, I know you did your homework on Pulev. You know, this is the fight you were going to get if you didn't beat Adamek. What do you think Pulev's chance to beat Adamek are?
Pulev's got a good jab. I think he's 6'4", 6'3.5", 6'4", something. He's a solid, decent fighter, and Tomasz has got to fight him in Germany. That's a solid undercard. Tomasz is not winning that fight, especially now with Eddie Chambers basically exposing him, with me basically beating his butt. You know, I don't see Pulev not winning this fight. You know, but anything can happen in boxing. You know what I'm saying? But if it goes to decision, he's not leaving Germany with that victory. No way.
And my last question, I'm going to mix it up a little bit, Steve. I'm going to kind of get away from the boxing. I'm going to get into something else you really like. What are your thoughts about the last episode of Spider-Man and Spider-Man's demise?
The new Spider-Man movie that came out?
No, I'm talking about the comic book. Something you.
Oh no, I haven't, man. I haven't been in a minute, man. I haven't seen anything new yet. I've been stuck in my world.
This last Spider-Man was, I think, out today, and apparently, from what I'm hearing, Spider-Man died.
What? I didn't know that. Oh, I gotta look that up tonight.
Yeah, I thought you'd be all over that. Come on, man.
Well, I guess you figure it's about time, because they done had the death of Superman a couple times, you know. So
he'll come back somehow.
Yeah, he'll come back somehow. But man, I guess it's about time. You know, they had the death of Batman. I mean, even though they're different universe, DC and Marvel, but still. Oh man, that's interesting. I'm gonna look that up. That's hot.
Hey, and speaking of that, how's your little picture in the comic book world coming?
Well, I've got the poster up. I've got a layout of me and all the characters on my on a Facebook page. It's USS Comics. So you guys can search that. It should take you to the Facebook. There's only one page right now. Actually, since training camp started, I stopped going, but I'm going to put up a profile of every character over the week, these last couple weeks of the year, or this last week of the year, and hopefully I'll start the new year with the profile of all the characters up on this Facebook page. I want to do a Facebook page first, Didn't get a website.
Well, like you mentioned before, we do have an Amish mafia on TV now. Are we going to have a Polish mafia on your comic book series?
Nah, I'm not giving any credence to this crap. Not
all right,
for
man.
me.
Steve, good talking to you, man. I appreciate your time.
Thanks.
Frankie.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm sorry, guys. Just doing a few other things. It was a nice little episode of Dead Air right there. But no, Steve, hey, man, we appreciate you joining us tonight. We, you know what I'm saying, we'll always love having you on the show. We'll definitely, like I said, again, love to get you back on here, get you and Eddie face off against each other in a trivia challenge, boxing trivia challenge, if you'd be up for it.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Just let me know anytime.
All right, man. Steve Cunningham, keep your head up, man. Everything is going to be all right. Just, go enjoy the rest of the holidays with your family. God bless. Happy New Year. Follow you at USS Cunningham on Twitter.
Yep.
Steve, any final words out there for the fans?
Man, just frustration. That's all. Frustration. Total and utter frustration. That's it. But I'm still here, and I'm going to continue on. I'm just frustrated right now.